Hello and welcome back to the channel, Kelly Legends Media. Okay, before I get started, I just want to say thank you to all the subscribers. We had a big influx of subscribers uh, this past 28-day period. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Welcome to the channel. Okay, so I just wanted to share a little bit today on a subject that has been kicked around here and there, and I hadn't made a video since Friday, I think. And it wasn't so much I was taking time off. It was that I was busy making a purchase. I bought myself something for Cinco de Mayo. I didn't buy it for Cinco de Mayo. But I am glad that the purchase went down on Cinco de Mayo, because it's something I'm going to have probably till the end of my days, something that I wanted very, very badly. And yeah, I got blessed, just money from working on YouTube and saving it, everything went straight to the bank, for the sole purpose of making this purchase. I was still short, and my wife overheard me, and she ended up blessing me with a few tawal and made it possible for me to make this purchase. And I'll talk about it more and share it with you later. But today I want to talk about something else that has to do with money, and it's based on videos that people put out recently regarding taking money from the viewers. Okay, and what was mentioned was a few content creators. Adam22 was mentioned. I think he was charging $150 a song. Okay, I don't know how he was going about it. I didn't even know he was doing that. That's kind of crazy. But there's people with that kind of money, that's nothing to them. $150. All right, play this song, and after that one, play this other song too. And it's nothing. It's to them, it's like chump change. To me, that's I could do a lot with that. I could eat a few days with that much money, and feed my wife. So probably that money would mean more to me than what it means to people who have an abundance, right? And I'll get back to this situation with Adam22, but the other guy that was mentioned was Blue Devil. Now, Blue Devil, he charges $13 a song, okay? And some people might think like, oh, $13 a song, man, that's a lot of money, man, that's a ripoff. Well, nobody needs to pay it. Nobody needs to pay $13 for a song. If they want, they could hear it on their own Bluetooth. They got the same access as Blue Devil, but they do it because they want to. It's something that they want to do. They want to participate. They want, and they do it willingly. Okay. So as far as it being a scheme or ripping off people, it's a straightforward business, you could say. I wouldn't pay any amount for that matter, unless it was for a worthy cause, And maybe some of these viewers think that that's a worthy cause, supporting these platforms. Another one that was mentioned was Wes Watson. Now, Wes Watson has been seen on social media yelling and belittling potential clients or clients to the program that he sells. Okay, and he charges a great deal of money per person. I think it was like 30,000 or 40,000. I don't know, some outrageous price, And people talk about him like, yeah, if you want to get yelled at, if you want to get punked, and pay that much money, you pay me half, I'll do it. I'll call you up and yell at you every morning, But that ain't the case. Wes Watson ain't robbing nobody, Wes Wes Watson does what he does, and the people that give him the money to do whatever it is that he offers his clients, they do it willingly. They have the money. Maybe they tried a bunch of other things, and they get this guy, and they don't care. They give him a shot. Personally, I wouldn't. I wouldn't pay nobody for anything like that. I don't think I've found myself at any time in my life the need to pay somebody to uplift my ego or my self-worth, or self-esteem. I don't know. I don't know really exactly what Wes Watson does, but he catches a lot of heat for this stuff. But it doesn't matter, man. All these guys are doing is offering a product or a service, and it's up to the people if they want to participate. A lot of times you go to a bar or you go to an event, a club or something, and look at the price of the drinks. For one beer, you pay the price of sometimes of a 6-pack, or a 3-pack 24-ouncer for one beer. Outrageous prices, $21 for a beer. Yet all night long, people are pistearing and they're not even thinking about it. And when you look at it like that, $13 for a song really ain't much. And as far as $150, yeah, that's a lot. But Adam 22 has millions of subscribers, and a lot of them are rich, just like him. So I don't know. I don't get what's the point, bringing these things out about the viewers getting ripped off, because nobody's taking their money. They're giving it willingly for whatever their reason is, and it's their money. But it was another reason to talk at or talk about somebody. And so now that I've come to that point, I hear a lot of things, not even directed to me, but directed to people that are having pedo, that they're being comadres, and they're acting this way and that way. And I thought about it, and like sometimes people tell me that that's what I'm doing. I don't see it that way. But when I go to watch YouTube and that's all I see, I get that kind of feeling like, yeah, that's probably what it is. You know what I mean? Just everybody slinging mud at each other. You want to talk about hating raza and all that? Like, oh, Blue Devil hates raza. I think everybody that's currently active on YouTube beefs could be said to hate raza, because they're fighting with the raza. They're talking about the raza. They're putting down the raza. You know what I mean? Regardless of their prison standing and all that, that shit is like irrelevant. You know what I mean? We're not in prison. We're not in jail. And hopefully none of us will go back there. None of us plan to. None of us want to. Why would we carry around that kind of ball and chain? You know what I mean? Whatever a reason a person does what he does it. That's his business. Now, if you have a problem with it, then don't mess with dude. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do. Just don't fuck with dude, But as far as it being a reason to constantly make videos and call from AdSeg, the wood that calls from New Folsom, from the hole, like, man, I'm sure he's got bigger fish to fry than Dubs, or why not spend the time thinking of a way to get money and do his thing, that he's not going nowhere. Like, who cares what's happening out here on social media? He's not going to be part of nothing. He should just be focused on how he can do good inside there. You know what I mean? But he chooses to do what he does. Maybe it entertains him. I don't know. And I don't care. I really don't. Some people said, like, yeah, he's a white boy. I'm not going to take a white boy's word over a camarada. I need to see the paperwork. Cut it out, man. It's not that serious. You know, uh, whatever reason Dubs don't want to talk about it, he's not going to talk about it. In fact, what he's going to probably do is laugh about it, because that's what he does. He'll just laugh it off. He's not caring about all of you who are caring so much. It's a joke to him. So somebody said, oh, so you're saying Dubs is good, and oh, you're saying Gunner's good, oh, you're saying Blue Devil's good. I ain't saying anybody's good, because I don't know any of these people. You know what I mean? There's people that I grew up with for years, and I don't know if half of them are any good. You know what I mean? Because we're not that intimate. We're not that entwined in our lives, And it doesn't matter. My homeboys are my homeboys. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go and dig and scratch and try to pull some shit up on them, Whatever needs to come out will come out in its time. It always does. You know what I mean? But anyways, I just wanted to put some food for thought out there. And I really want to touch on that money deal, man, because I don't think any content creator rips off their viewers. You know what I mean? I think they're all grateful whenever a viewer contributes to the channel, supports the channel. And I think that's the way everybody sees it, as support. The viewer supporting the channel. And just a show of appreciation, and it's work, but it's not that hard. It's not that much work. But hey, if somebody's making a living off YouTube, hey, I know they appreciate it a lot more than somebody who's just doing it just for the sport. And I don't think anybody is. I think everybody somewhere inside is doing it for the money. You know what I mean? I don't know about clout and all that, unless there's people. I guess there's probably are people that always wanted to be in the limelight and be noticed and be known and stuff. Because some people admit to it, I guess so. I guess there are some people like that. I don't know, but I've been trying to find other subjects to talk about other than what's going on, all the chismeando that's going on. And it's like, fuck, that's all that's out there. Maybe it's because there's no real topics, with that'll edify a person out there right now. Nothing's really happening, or we're not picking it up. We're too busy being blinded with all of the chismeando, if that's a word. Yeah, I don't know. It's once again, it's annoying. I still want to do reaction videos. I like doing them. I like to react to people's comments, to things that people speak on. If I disagree, I have a different point of view, I like to speak on that, But I don't want to get in a pissing contest with nobody or a mudslinging contest with nobody. You know what I mean? Like this thing with Blue Devil and High Power Fitness. You know what I mean? They could bump heads until the cows come home. I don't care. I try to speak what I spoke, because I would rather see homies getting along, man, and not see people going at each other's throats. You know what I mean? We have platforms that can help build people up and edify people and encourage people, to do certain things that, or just to say something that might help them get through their day, week, month, or whatever they're going through, But everybody's too busy doing the other, this, that, and the other, But like dude from Breaking the Cycle by Slug said, man, anybody could do whatever they want. It's their channel. They could speak on what they want. Nobody could tell them. Everybody's their own man. And I agree 100% with that. Dude from Breaking the Cycle, he's trying to, by slugs, he's trying to hit 6,000 subscribers. He's only off by a few hundred. So if you've watched him and you dig his content, but you're more like a visitor and a watcher, if you don't mind, check him out. Maybe subscribe to his channel. Help him out. Help him hit that 6,000 mark. And if you do, he's gonna burn a habanero, and he's gonna eat that fucker straight, you know. And they're hot, man. Especially when you burn them, you know, they get all wet and juicy. It brings the fire out of them. But anyways, he said he's gonna eat a habanero chile if and he's on live stream, you know. So I'm just saying, you know, a little fun, something fun to watch, you know. And it doesn't cost nothing, and it supports his channel, and it's a way to uplift, homie. You know what I mean? I don't know him at all. You know, he's just another content creator, but he has a good head on his shoulders, you know, and he shares some good things sometimes. I watch him on certain topics. Anyways, this is my video for today. I wanted to do something because I hadn't done nothing, like I said, since Friday, and I was out doing what I was doing to get this thing that I wanted so long, and it was on my bucket list, you know. So anyways, I'll share that with you guys soon. This guy's gonna help me who knows how to mess with the cameras and stuff just to make it look good. But anyways, thanks for watching. You know, just this is just a little real quick video, you know, some torica, just to talk and get warmed up and something to think about. Go ahead and share your comments in the comment section. Hit the like button just to support the channel. It really helps us out as content creators. God bless you. God bless your family. Take care. Stay free at any cost. Let's stay out here and enjoy our freedom and our families. Because I know anybody sitting behind the walls, man, they would love to be in our position, you know. That being said, I'm going to go inside right now and eat me some chili con carne with rice and beans and some homemade tortillas and get nice and full and pass out. So I could be ready for tomorrow and get rolling on these videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you on the next one. God bless you.